Well, welcome to Cavetalk. Hey, y'all didn't get the beat. Y'all didn't get the beat. Man, thank you guys for tuning in today. I am so grateful you chose to come on into the podcast. Listen, got to ask y'all this question. Listen, have y'all got a hat yet? I need everybody to get a Cave Talk hat. And have you subscribed? Please look, share this, man. Call some of your friends and subscribe to this. And we're having a good time talking with you this week here. Hey, guess what? This week, you're only going to get me. What's up with that? I want to go ahead and just introduce myself. Hey, I'm Tiff, man. I'm Tiff. Just want to remind you guys about the Cave Talk. And look, follow us on Instagram at Mac Cave Talk. Go to all our platforms and get you some friends and y'all sit down, enjoy, and let's have some fun. I told y'all this whole podcast is about being open-minded, no judgment, just saying what you want to say what you feel, and at the end of the day, we can agree to disagree and give you our opinion, give you my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. I'm still looking for a co-host. I've got some people already, man, they're ready. But today I wanted to take this time to just jump into some things myself. Let's have some real conversation. Over the last few weeks, I did it with people up here with my fam. Then I had my man Nolan Smith and Quinn Cook. These my dudes. I got some more of that coming. But today I want to take an interesting turn. Hey. I want to take an interesting turn. I want to talk about first dates. Yeah. I'm going to talk about it myself, and then want y'all to put some comments in and give me your thoughts. And y'all, I might say something. Then when you say something, I think I can come back and be like, oh, I see it different that way now. So I want you to listen to this one today, and then next week, once you do that, put in there you want to come up here with me next week, and I'll bring you in right from where you are. It doesn't matter where you are. You can be in Africa, wherever. I can bring you on the platform. Let's talk about it. But I want to talk about first dates. Do you remember your first date? Now, listen, let's talk about this. Now, I know some of y'all listen, I'm in a different generation, no question about it. So I'm in a different generation. I haven't been able to date forever, quote unquote, how we see it. But we're going to talk about going on first dates. What's this myth? Well, let's talk about the facts, the myth, the expectation of going on first dates. And my generation, see, you got to understand, when I came along, you couldn't slide in nobody DMs and all that to introduce yourself, and we're gonna deal with all that. So, and I know what we're going to talk about, it depends on some age, but let's get into some tough conversations. I got some questions that I'm gonna ask you, but then I'm gonna answer them, and then I want to see your comments, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna get heavy with this. I'm gonna bring some people up here and let them say what they want to say, talk how they want to talk, no judgment. Y'all know, look, you didn't come up here on this platform to get prayer today. You came up here to just have some conversation. So let's talk about it. Men meeting women, y'all going on your first date. It could be kind of both ways, going on your first date. I got some questions. You saw the clip. I want to show y'all two clips right quick. I want y'all to check these clips out. And once you check them out, we're going to come back and talk about them and get your take on it, and we'll see what we got to say about that.
And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot.
I mean,
waiting for a reservation.
We can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, it's equivalent to that? I mean,
I literally
you don't understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
There's nothing wrong with
I
that.
will die. That's
Okay.
embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain expectations for dating.
No.
I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm gonna just drop you off at home.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm up.
So you just want to call it a night? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I'm sorry, y'all.
He just pulled
but
out of the parking space.
I ain't got a whole lot of money, but you know what? I say, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna deny myself something to get her a nice little, get a nice little meal. So we get there, and so I'm gonna order something, but I'm not gonna get what I would normally get, but I'm gonna get something a little down just in case she goes up. So we get there, and so we get a little appetizer. I think back then I was into Caesar salad. I had never had Caesar salad, so I got me a little Caesar salad. I ordered Caesar. She got something, and so the server comes back and says, "Okay, you ready to order?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I think I got something probably cost like $30-$40. And so Ocho, she got the menu and she just looking. I'm like, well, damn, what she gonna order? I say, you gonna go ahead, you gonna order something? She say, I'm trying to figure out what go with lobster. I say condoms. I say, because if you order that, we gonna have sex tonight. Needless to say, she didn't order that, and I never saw her again. I put that on everything, Ocho. See, Ocho, you get me on here, Ocho. I get on here with you, man, and you have me be telling stories, man. I was supposed to take this to my grave, man.
Check this out. So you know that thing went viral, I think probably over a month or two ago, whatever it was. The first chick, the one you saw with the girl, the guy that she was up there talking about how he took her to the Cheesecake Factory, and she was like, "Hey, didn't rock with that." I want to hear that. First of all, let's talk about it. And then the second one, you saw my man Shay Shay. Oh, that was so funny. Let's talk about that. The facts, the myth and the expectations. So going on the first date, the question I would have is, do women get to choose it, or do you leave it open for the man to choose it? Me personally, I'm the kind of dude that I'm a country boy. I can be bougie and go both ways. I guess it depends on how much y'all have talked. I guess it depends on kind of like, do you know the person right now? I don't know if you know them yet. You might not know them, so you might not know what they like. You might haven't asked them their allergies and or what have you. So it might be the situation where you need to ask. You might need to ask them what you like to eat and what do you those. But how many times we really think about that when you actually just going on a date for the first time with somebody? Be like, what's your allergy? Well, you're allergic to this. You might not be thinking about it. I don't know. I don't know if I would. But me, I'm an alpha male, so I'm gonna take you out on the first date. I don't see nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory. Straight up, hey, I like it. I don't see anything wrong with it. I kind of feel like, that was a little shot at my man. That was, she threw some shade. And I guess, but here's my thing. If she's clear about it before then, but don't I feel like this. Don't ask, you can't ask me to take you out, and I don't know where I can take you, and then we get to a certain spot and it's not something that's just it's not a bad place. I mean, I think that's kind of disrespectful, to kind of feel like you're gonna be like, hey, I don't want to go here. Well, my thing is, I tell you what I can do. I'll take you. I got somewhere I can take you. Or you know what? If I picked you up, that's another question. On the first date, do they pick you up? Now, me, I'm gonna be like, look, let me pick you up. I know in this time you might be like, look, let's meet. Let's meet at a certain spot. But I've been like, look, if we met, I would probably took her back home, hey, drop you back off at your house, at your crib, hey, because at the end of the day, I'm making effort and going from there. So, and you know that's the thing about that with me, and I know I'll get into it more next week when you know I have some people up here with me to be like, well, no, yeah, I think she got a right to say what she wants. Yeah, you're right. But at the end of the day, I think you got to be able to handle that and be able to, you know, understand it and let the man choose if y'all haven't had a conversation about it. So I guess that's another question. Do you literally let the man pick you up or y'all meet? Because here's my thing too. Like I said earlier, of course it depends on age. You know, we're not talking about somebody young and all this that don't not driving and all that. But here's my thing too. You guys may have already talked about it and you're cool with it and going from there. So that's my take on it, and I'll get into it more. So let's talk about it. Cheesecake Factory. All right, you saw the other clip, Shay, him and Ocho. Um, he was like, "Look, hey," she was like, "Hey, what's going on with this lobster? Condoms." Listen, I guess that's the next question. I think, do you think where you going can kind of tell you how the night's gonna go? Um, can y'all have sex on the first date? What y'all think about that? Sex on the first date. What's the expectations of the date? What are the expectations? Um, I'm gonna tell you from a man's standpoint of view. Hey, I'm and look. I'm gonna say this again. Remember this platform. Number one, this is my podcast. I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I'm gonna give you what my opinions are. But once I talk with you and dialogue with you, I might can change the way I think about it. I might want to go a different route. I might want to be like, oh, you know what? I can feel that. I'm good with that. I can see that. But as a man, let's be straight. I think it's everybody goes into everything with expectation. That's just what it is. I don't care what you say. You can be like, look, I don't have no expectations. Well, you know what? That's you. I think everybody goes into everything with some type of expectation. Bottom line. Um, so let's get back to this thing about the date. Y'all out chilling. You know, you going to where? Cheesecake Factory. That's not gonna hit you too hard. I think the man about sex. Do y'all have sex? Have you had sex on the first date? I'm gonna be straight with you. I think the man, most men, I think we want sex. We want but no, I ain't gonna say it up here because y'all ain't ready for me yet. I got to break y'all in a little bit more. Um, so yeah, I think it can go there. I think it can go there. Y'all gonna try to act like I know some people gonna be like, well, no, I don't have the expectation. But here's my thing. Here's my thing about that. If y'all can come in with expectations, why can't the man? All right. Because the women got expectations. So why can't we have any? Um, and I mean, I think it does depend on how much a man is gonna spend sometimes too. Yeah, he's still a gentleman. Don't try to play me like that. I know y'all guys want to say something about it, but at the end of the day, it ain't got nothing to do with sex about him being a gentleman. Because don't act like y'all ladies don't actually think about the sex too. Because at the end of the day, for us to be going on a date, for you to be going on a date with the person, you already saw something in the person anyway. Let's just keep that 100. So I think I think like, when you look at what Shannon said, hey, if you're gonna spend all this money, you're gonna be like, look, how's it gonna go? But here's the thing: you got to be straight up front. You got to be straight up too. You got to be straight up front. If we just going on a date and you like, look, I'm gonna be straight with you. Hey, I'm gonna have fun. I want to have some good conversation. Let's flirt some. Um, and go from there. Cause y'all don't act like ladies too now. Don't act like y'all ain't going on some dates too just to try to pose for the gram. You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to pose for the gram. Y'all posting your food. You got to let everybody know what you doing, where you at, who you with. You know, you might not even post a person, but you be like, oh, I'm out. Look at me and all this. So look, those are expectations. Those are things you want or what have you. So look, hey, at the end of the day, I don't think it's off limits. I definitely don't think it's off limits. And I'm gonna kind of jump around some because I'm doing this by myself. I don't think it's off limits. I think it's possible. And look, it's a difference in taking you to Cheesecake Factory and Ruth Chris. Come on now, it's a difference taking you to Outback to to Perry Steakhouse and Grill where I'm at in Raleigh. This area, this Raleigh area like that. Now look, hey, if a man gonna spend 300-400. Hey, you got to expect the fact that he ain't gonna just want you to shake his hand. I know y'all like, man, you better get out of here with that. This is why I want this. I want us to be able to talk about it. I don't sit here talking about we gonna just shake hands. Like, hey, you gonna tell me you can't hug his neck, a kiss, or something like that? Oh, but I can respect it if you straight up said before y'all go everything. Look, there will be no intimacy right now. But don't go here and don't share your heart and share what your thoughts and share what you this way. And you been like, then all of a sudden, he be like touching you, just want to hug on you and all this. That of course I ain't talking about being aggressive. So don't try to play me like that, but hey, at the end of the day, I think it's important for you to share what your expectations of how this date is going to go. But at the end of the day, don't think that a man does not want to have sex and going from there. Most men, they may try to get up here and play the role. Some of them may be like, no, I'm just a gentleman. You still a gentleman and all this. But at the end of the day, excuse me, don't act like you don't want sex. Y'all feel me on that? All right. So we'll go back and forth on that. Y'all, I'm gonna check out some of your comments. You see how you feel about it. But as for me, I think everybody comes in everything with expectations. Because don't and this little myth of just life itself, are you sitting here talking about something, I don't want nothing. Listen, everybody on life wants something. You want something from whatever you putting into. I don't care if you putting it, hey, if it's just a conversation, you want somebody to respond back to you. You feel me? And so when you going from there, and so at the end of the day, I feel like that's just what it is. You know what? I just thought about this too, and this is kind of I don't know if I want to go there. There's a movie I saw one time, and this movie was a trip called Indecent Proposal. The movie is about this couple that's together. This couple is together, but yet still, they meet this guy. He meets them at a casino, and he actually gives them a proposal from the perspective of he wants to sleep with the guy's wife, or yeah, I think it's his wife, for $1 million. He put it out there up front. That's another thing. Hey, he just wants to take her out. He wants to have her for one night for $1 million. And they're going to be wired to the account. And she has to stay with him for one night for $1 million. Let me ask you something. Do you have a price? Come on there. $1 million for one night. Hey, I'm gonna just engage with some people so they'll talk to me on that one. I ain't gonna give y'all my opinion on that right now, but I can promise you this: $1 million one night. Hey, so I'm sorry, we'll talk about that joint. So you out on that date. Here's another question. I feel like too, when y'all is it off limits to go to? Do you have to go out on your first date to a place? Do you have to be a mutual place? Is it off limits to go to each other's place or to somebody's place? Can he come over to your place, or can you go to his place on the first date? you know, I think my opinion of it is I know who I am as a person. You know, I'm not. I just ain't no aggressive person and all that, and everything. But me, you could come to my house or my place or whatever if I was if it was our first date. But I don't mind going out, just having some laughter, some drinks, some fun, chilling, um, a pretty good time, and going from there. But I think that's where I am with everything with that, man. I think the whole goal is everything has to be kept up front. You have to keep it real with each other. And I think that women ought to keep it real too. So don't expect the man to not always have to say something. Y'all need to keep it real too. Because don't act like women that sometimes too that y'all have other intentions and other expectations when y'all going on the date. Sometimes it ain't the man that's so aggressive. Sometimes y'all already like, oh, I'm just gonna get what he got. I'm just gonna hit. Hey, I'm gonna hit and get what he got and get what I can get, and then I'm out and I'm gonna bounce. Hey, because a lot of times we always want to put it on the men, but I'm gonna stand up for the dudes too, man. Because hey, y'all women, come on now, don't act like y'all can't be trifling too now sometimes, and y'all got certain expectations and going from there. So, those are some questions I want to be able to talk about, and let's be able to dialogue about this joint. Um, so I wrote down something else I want to ask y'all too. So when it comes to first dates and or what have you, say for instance you broke up with someone, you coming out of a relationship. When do you think it's cool to go on a date quickly? If not, what's your time frame? Or do you, of course it's everybody's different, or do you think that everything is just rebound? Is everything just rebound or whatever, or is dating your coping mechanism or what have you? You know, so I want to know those things. I mean, personally, I mean, and again, I can't wait till y'all have a chance to dialogue with me. I think, I mean, it depends on how you feel about it. I mean, I don't know if there's ever a time where you can always say you completely healed, because it's not the fact that you ain't gonna remember it. You just got to be able to get over it. You got to be able to manage it and know that, hey, I can't let this thing keep me from enjoying where my life is now. So if you go through a breakup, you gonna go out on that date. How long? What's your time frame? You going tomorrow or you was already dating? You go, oh, tell me what's up with that. What you feeling about that? Um, what's your thought? What are your thoughts on it? Um, I look at the fact that you got to look at what's needed in your life at the time, because you don't want to go into no depression. You don't want to go into no place where you like, man, don't nobody want me, because then you go in this isolation mode, and then you feeling like, hey, you in this thing by yourself. So what's really wrong with going out on a date, even if you just come out of a relationship? I ain't said nothing about you trying to fall in love and all that kind of stuff. So let me ask you this. Is the conversation completely open on the first date? Can he ask you anything? Can you ask him anything? Do y'all think y'all can talk about whatever y'all want? Partners, stuff like that. Is that important to you when you meet someone? Is when you meet someone and y'all going out on your first date, y'all getting to know each other. Um, is it important to you to know their history, their partners? What you think? Do you want to know how many people they've been with? Which they ain't gonna tell you the whole truth anyway, and probably at the end of the day, if it's a certain number. But is that important? Is that an off limit question? What do you do? What can you talk about? I mean, of course, you talk about families, your goals, your plans, how to get that bag. I think that ought to be one of the main things you talk about on a date too. Is really talk about, hey, how we gonna get this bag? Like, what are we planning on doing? Are you dating with intentionality of like, trying to take it further, or you just out here and it ain't so much you just playing, but are you out here now like, hey, I'm just checking out my options? Because I think that's one of the things too, um, when it comes to dating and stuff. I think you ought to be able to you ought to check out your options. I do not think that you just have to look at one individual and go out with one individual when you're single, like that. I think that's a myth, or something that we've been try to told to do. When we say date with intentionality, yeah, you dating with intentionality. You have goals. Everybody have goals, but I think you ought to be able to check out what you really want. Because my thing is, I think one of the failed things about relationships, period, is everybody can't be totally upfront. Can you really handle somebody being totally upfront with you? So I want to get into all this. This is going to be like a 30-minute podcast about today. Y'all check this out. And y'all put some comments in here. Throw some thoughts out here. We'll go through this thing, listen to it a couple times. Y'all ask yourself the question, where we going? What's the expectation? Is it okay to have sex? I mean, I feel, hey, y'all grown. You do what you want. You know, hey, that's my opinion about it. We grew up in the era. I grew up in that generation where, the first date, you're trying to avoid it. But I was asking some ladies, I've been asking different questions. That's one of the things I've been doing with my podcast. Everything becomes podcast material now for me. I'm like, well, look, I heard some people say, look, I did have sex on my first date, because I was young. I was so young and I was dumb and full of cum. I was like, I did too much. But at the end of the day, what if you feeling that person again? Because the first date may not been y'all first interaction. Y'all could have been talking on the phone for 3 weeks, a month, and what have you. And when you are dating a person, when does sex come into the picture? Let's keep that thing real now. Let's be honest. Keep that joint 100. When does it come into the picture? Now, don't try to play me. Don't be capping to the point where you trying to sit here and say, well, I'm just not gonna have no sex until we get married. I respect that. I totally respect that. I get it. But let's talk about what's in this day and time, how it's gonna roll, what's gonna go down. That ain't really how it's gonna happen in this day. Like, for real. Come on, y'all. Quit tripping. Y'all, you already know. Yeah. So I want to know your time frame. I mean, my personal opinion, I don't think there's a time frame to that. I think grown people make grown decisions. So I don't have no time frame with that. I go back all these years ago, over 29, 30, 40, 50 years ago, or whatever. My thing is, it is what it is. And I'll get into some personal stuff about me, y'all. For real. I don't really care no more like that. I think we ought to have these authentic transparent conversations and going from there. So um I think that's it. I think y'all can get a lot from that right there. So you saw the clips, go back and look at them. I think old chick was tripping. She can't go to cheesecake. And hey, like Shay Shay said, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna come. If I'm spending this amount, hey, he got some expectations with it too. I guess you're saying, look, I know your worth is more than anything. I can't dispute that. Hey, I can't dispute that. And we're gonna dialogue about this joint too. So I definitely believe your worth is more than anything. So y'all give me your thoughts. Um, give me your opinions. I hope y'all enjoying this. I am. Next week it's gonna be a little longer, man. Ooh, you ought to see those guests I got coming next week. I got some raunchy, ratchet women. Got a couple would want to come up here with me. Let me see how I can. But I got a couple. I got a couple dudes want to come up here talk about this joint with me too. So it's gonna be hot. I can't wait to get them up here. So y'all got to see this. Put them in the comments, and then I'm gonna go from there. We're gonna throw it back out. And I got another one I'm ready to drop on you, man. We ready to deal with some stuff. All right. Peace out. Look, can't wait to see y'all next week. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go get some friends, man. We get these numbers up. I'm having a ball. And look, go follow us on at Instagram at Matt Cavetalk. And just remember, this is a platform where we ain't gonna judge you. I'm gonna make sure we stay open-minded. I'm gonna make sure that we all can agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, we want to live this life that God has given us and live it, man, to the fullest and just enjoy this thing. I'll holler at y'all. Peace out. Have a good day.